Ever wondered what that magic number, your credit score, actually means? We hear about it all the time, buying a house, getting a car loan, even renting an apartment, and how important it is. But what's a good credit score? Is there a secret formula? And how does a site like Credit Karma fit into all of this? If you've ever felt lost in the maze of credit scores, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about what constitutes a good credit score on Credit Karma, and more importantly, how you can improve yours. Let's be honest, credit scores can feel intimidating. It's like a secret code that only the financial wizards understand. But it's not nearly as complicated as it seems. Think of your credit score as a grade for your financial responsibility. Lenders use it to judge how likely you are to pay back money you borrow. A good credit score tells them you're reliable, you manage your debt well, and you're a safe bet. A lower score, on the other hand, might make them hesitant to lend to you, or they might offer you less favorable terms, like higher interest rates. Now, where does Credit Karma come into play? Credit Karma is a free website that provides you with access to your credit reports and credit scores. It's a fantastic tool for monitoring your credit health and understanding what factors are influencing your score. They pull data from two of the major credit bureaus, Equifax and TransUnion, giving you a comprehensive view of your credit picture. It's important to note that the scores you see on Credit Karma are often Vantage scores, which are slightly different from the FICO scores that many lenders use. We'll touch on that more in a bit. So, let's get to the million-dollar question. What's a good credit score on Credit Karma? While the specific numbers might vary slightly between different scoring models, the general ranges are pretty consistent. Typically, a credit score from 700 to 749 is considered good. This range indicates you're a responsible borrower and you're likely to be approved for most loans and credit cards. Scores between 750 and 799 are considered very good, and anything above 800 is considered excellent. These higher scores unlock the best interest rates and terms, saving you a significant amount of money over the life of a loan. On the other end of the spectrum, scores below 630 are generally considered poor or bad. This range can make it difficult to get approved for credit, and if you are approved, you'll likely face higher interest rates. Scores between 630 and 699 are considered fair, meaning you might still be able to get credit, but your options might be limited, and the terms might not be as favorable. Now, remember I mentioned Vantage scores and FICO scores? This is an important distinction. Credit Karma primarily uses the Vantage score model. While Vantage scores and FICO scores are both designed to assess your creditworthiness, they use slightly different algorithms and weight different factors differently. This means your Vantage score on Credit Karma might not be exactly the same as your FICO score. However, they generally move in the same direction. If your Vantage score is good, your FICO score is likely to be good as well. The key takeaway here is that Credit Karma is an excellent tool for tracking your credit health and getting a general sense of where you stand, even if the specific number isn't the exact score a lender might pull. Think of it as a helpful guide, not the absolute final word. Now, let's talk about the factors that influence your credit score. Understanding these factors is crucial for improving your score. The biggest factor is your payment history. This makes up about 35% of your score. Lenders want to see a consistent track record of paying your bills on time. Even one missed payment can negatively impact your score, so it's essential to be diligent about paying all your debts on time, every time. The next most important factor is your credit utilization, which accounts for about 30% of your score. This is the amount of credit you're using compared to your total available credit. For example, if you have a credit card with a $1,000 limit and you've charged $500, your credit utilization is 50%. Experts recommend keeping your credit utilization below 30%, and ideally, even lower, to show lenders you're not overextending yourself. The length of your credit history makes up about 15% of your score. Lenders like to see a long history of responsible credit use. The longer you've had credit accounts open and in good standing, the better it is for your score. This is why it's generally a good idea to keep older credit cards open, even if you don't use them regularly, as long as they don't have annual fees. New credit accounts for about 10% of your score. Opening too many new credit accounts in a short period can be a red flag for lenders, as it can indicate financial distress. Finally, the types of credit you have make up the remaining 10% of your score. Lenders like to see a mix of different types of credit, such as credit cards, installment loans, and mortgages. Having a diverse credit portfolio can demonstrate your ability to manage different types of debt responsibly. So, how can you improve your credit score based on these factors? The most important thing is to be consistent and patient. Building a good credit score takes time and effort. Start by making sure you're paying all your bills on time, every time. Set up automatic payments if necessary to avoid missing deadlines. Keep your credit utilization low by paying down your balances and avoiding maxing out your credit cards. If you have high credit utilization, focus on paying down the cards with the highest interest rates first. Don't close old credit cards unless there's a compelling reason to, like a high annual fee. And be mindful of how often you apply for new credit. Another helpful tip is to regularly check your credit reports for errors. Mistakes can happen, and they can negatively impact your credit score. Credit Karma allows you to access your credit reports from Equifax and TransUnion, so you can easily monitor them for inaccuracies. If you find an error, dispute it with the credit bureau. Finally, remember that building a good credit score is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time and consistent effort to establish a positive credit history. But the rewards are well worth it. A good credit score can open doors to better financial opportunities, saving you money on interest rates and giving you access to more favorable loan terms. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.